Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993 and today is another day of me trying to explain another mecha in this game, and today's mecha will be called Andromeda. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Now let's start with Andromeda's ability. The first one is called Catapult, Energy Catapult, which is the primary weapon, and the secondary weapon is called Omen Javelin. Okay, so these are basically the two weapons. Now this is the normal clip capacity, which is 14, and it can be increased up to 3 more, okay, which I will be talking about in the training ground. Now this is normal levitation and this is normal tactical. Okay, so the fuel is basically this mecha's main capability. Now let's go to the training ground to actually give you guys even more idea of how to use this mecha as efficiently as possible. Okay, first of all, let's select Andromeda. Okay, now when it comes to the core of this Andromeda, core 1 and core 2 are useful. Core 2 is basically useful if you want to destroy Doomlight. Yeah, if you want to use Doomlight, core 2 is efficient, the most useful core. Okay, why, I'll be talking about that later. But if you want to just stop a mecha's ability to do some repair, then obviously core 1 is a very good option. So which is why I'll be starting with core 1 to give you guys idea of why you should be using that. Now in terms of this, both of these are useful. You can continuously use this one to use the primary weapon to attack, and then immediately use the secondary weapon as soon as the secondary weapon cooldown has ended. For example, let's say I have 17. Okay, now let me shoot at this mecha, or let me just shoot anywhere. Okay, so after all of the bullet is gone, I immediately use this javelin, and then this recovers. Okay, so what does this mean? It basically means that if you just want to destroy the enemy mecha within the very short period of time on a continuous basis, then obviously this is a very good option. But if you want to use this homing javelin a lot faster, which is the secondary attack, then obviously go with rapid throw. Now what will happen if you were to use rapid throw? Let's see. Okay, so let's see what happens afterwards. Okay, so what it means that if you were to use any of these, okay, both of them are gonna be useful in terms of doing continuous damage to the enemy. You empty the entire primary weapon on the enemy and then use the secondary attack, or you can basically lower the overall cooldown rate so that you can use the secondary attack a lot more often. So obviously from that point of perspective, rapid throw is going to be a lot more important option than this power quiver. Okay, now this is the defense module. Now when it comes to the defense module, you might want to use this, okay, because you want to run as fast as possible in the battlefield. Okay, otherwise your chances of survival is going to be almost zero. Now here is the third one, which is called propulsion. Now in terms of propulsion, there is hovering capability and there is flight speed. Now do trust me, if you want to get away from the battlefield a lot faster, then this is going to be a lot more important than this one. Okay, now also before doing anything else, I would like to say that do remember that I am a pro Doomlight user. Basically speaking, I know how to use Doomlight very efficiently, but also at the same time I am planning on doing this overall guide so that you guys will be able to benefit. So which is why, even though I do not use Andromeda at all, at least I did some research on Andromeda to give you guys a proper idea of how to use this. Okay, now first of all, let's go to that corner there to see how much good this mecha is in terms of long range attack. Okay, so that is gonna be the first example. Now you basically use this core 2 to increase the overall attack range of this mecha. Okay, let's see. Sorry, not attack range, I mean the accuracy rate. Okay, so you can basically increase the accuracy rate of this mecha's attack by using the core 2. So obviously, yeah, from long range attack, core 2 is going to be very useful. But if you want to paralyze your enemy, okay, then obviously core 1. Okay, but for the purpose of demonstration, I'll be using this core 2 from now on. And what about the secondary attack? The secondary attack is also 100% accurate, and which is why if you were to see any enemies that is basically that's almost 300 meters away, this should be able to help you. So in terms of long range attack, this mecha is actually a very good mecha, okay? But you need to empty the entire clip anyway. So that is the long range attack. Now what is the mid range attack? So in terms of mid range attack, any mecha that is bigger than this crosshair is basically a mid range attack, okay? So in mid range battle, okay, what will happen is if you were to shoot the enemy from this mid range, then obviously they will be taking 100% accuracy damage, okay? And in case if you are planning on fighting mecha on let's say less than 150 meters, then I highly suggest that you use this core instead of this one. Why? Because you already have a good accuracy in the mid range, but you need to paralyze the enemy with a secondary attack. So obviously from the mid range, I suggest that you use this core. If you want to run away from the battlefield, then use core 2. But if you want to stay in the battlefield because you are confident enough, then use core 1. Okay. Now, what about this mecha in short range? Now, in this short range battle, okay, if you are facing enemy that is basically a lot bigger than the crosshair here, then obviously this is a short range. So in short range battle, the best way to actually fight back is to dodge and shoot ability, okay? So once you dodge and shoot, then what will happen is the enemy pilot or the enemy mecha will have a hard time to give you any damage, okay, or they will have hard time surviving. Also another thing, that when you select which one, let's see, code 2. Another thing is when you select code 2, what will happen is as you continuously shoot the enemy mecha, you will be staying on the air for even a higher period of time. So yeah, if you have the desire to continuously dodge the enemy's attack and stay in the air, then obviously code 2 is going to be your very best option. Now in case if you're wondering, then how can you increase the overall flight capability of this mecha? The overall best way to increase the flight capability of this mecha is to give this mecha a lot more fuel recovery, which I'll be talking about in the lobby later, okay? Now let's say this mecha is suddenly getting attacked, okay? Then the question remains, okay, then can this mecha run away from the battlefield? Yes, this mecha can get away from the battlefield, but it is gonna be a little bit slower compared to other mechas. What do I mean by that? Well, let me show you. So once you go up here, you basically use your spacebar, and then this mecha will start to fly. But as this mecha starts to fly, you will be able to control which direction this mecha will be able to go. Now obviously this is about 200 meters, okay? This is about 200 meters from that place over there. So this mecha can get away from the battlefield up to 200 meters without any problem. But in terms of guiding this mecha, that is up to you, because this mecha is actually not the fastest, but fast enough to make sure that you can guide this mecha out of the battlefield, which is going to be very useful. If a certain mecha cannot get away from the battlefield, that is going to be problematic. Another thing that you can do is as you go out of the battlefield, you need to constantly use this mecha's dashing capability to run away from the battlefield even faster, okay? So that is basically going to be it in terms of running away from the battlefield. Now what about surprise attack? Now in terms of surprise attack, there are two ways of doing surprise attack. You can do surprise attack by staying behind an object. You suddenly see an enemy, immediately shoot them with the secondary attack and then hide again, okay? By doing so, what will happen is the enemy might know of your location, but that doesn't mean anything. What it means that the enemy will not be able to hit you back. So again, once you hit the enemy, immediately hide. So as you hide, what will happen is the enemy is gonna take continuous damage. And it also seems like that after you hit the enemy with the homing javelin, the primary attack gains a certain homing capability, okay? So yeah, that is a very good thing, okay? Now that is a sneak attack from the side. Now there are two more sneak attacks, okay? One is, let's say you suddenly get up, shoot the enemy and then get down, okay? By doing so, you will be able to save yourself from the enemy's attack, okay? Another way you can use this mecha in terms of sneak attack, and that this is basically sneak attack 3, is to make sure that you are on a higher platform, as soon as you see the enemy mecha, shoot them, get back. Okay, immediately get back using the dodge or dashing. Then what will happen is this mecha's overall durability is gonna get saved. So that is overall the sneak attack. Okay, now the question remains, okay, is this mecha good enough in battle where there is water? Let's say suddenly you are playing playing, and then what happens is the map suddenly says now you need to cross a large quantity of water, basically the sea, which is in Alpha City. So what can you do to get away from that situation? The thing which you can do is to make sure that you basically go the underwater, okay? And as a certain enemy pilot, or let's say enemy pilot on a hoverboard or enemy pilot on a unicorn or deformed car suddenly shows up towards you, you can basically go above the water. Let's say the water level is 17 meters high, then you can basically go above the water, and as you go above the water you will be able to shoot the enemy, and as you shoot the enemy, what will happen is you will be able to stay in the air for a longer period of time, especially if you were to have the secondary core activated. So if you have this secondary core activated, then you can stay in the air for such a long period of time that the enemy pilot is gonna be able to get destroyed very easily. So yeah, in terms of fighting this mecha on top of water, this mecha is actually a monster type of mecha in terms of fighting enemies on top of water. Okay, like unlike Alborada, which cannot fight on top of the water because it has height limitation of how much it can jump. This mecha's height limitation is extremely good, which is why it can stay above water very easily. Okay, so yeah, that is one of those things. Now let's see, what about Doomlight? Okay, like I'm a pro Doomlight user, so what about Doomlight? Now whatever you do not attack Doomlight directly. If you planning on attack Doomlight directly, your chances of survival is almost gonna be 0. You think that, okay, once Doomlight deployed a shield, I will go back, right? Well, pro players knows what you are gonna do. They will go behind the shield again. Okay, by doing so, what will happen is, let me give you an idea what is gonna happen. So let's say I'm using Doomlight and you suddenly showed up. Okay, let's say you suddenly showed up. What will happen is that Doomlight's primary core has the ability of doing auto attack. So once Andromeda shows up, this is gonna be what is happening. Then you might think, okay, then I'll go behind the shield. Or you are coming behind the shield, okay, I'll get behind the shield again. Okay, by doing so, what will happen is Andromeda will have a lower chance of actually getting your mecha destroyed. So sorry, getting you the enemy what should I call it, enemy Doomlight destroyed. So yeah, don't use that method. There is another method which you can use. Okay, so during the last battle, when the danger circle is closing in, okay, Andromeda is gonna be faster at running away. So what you do, you have to continuously gaze towards the Doomlight, so to make sure that you are not getting attacked, and also you need to shoot to make sure that your fuel is recovering. Okay, let me give you the example. Okay, let's say the Doomlight is over there. Okay, and as you use the secondary core of this mecha and you try to run away to the safe zone in the last circle, that is, then go up and shoot even at the shield to make sure that the, what should I call it, this mecha's fuel recovers, and as this mecha's fuel recovers, you will be able to get away to the safe zone a lot easier. And as you go to the safe zone a lot easier, then what will happen is Doomlight will have a hard time following you. And as you stay in the safe zone, then as Doomlight will take a lot of time to get towards you, Doomlight is gonna take damage from the danger zone, and eventually Doomlight durability is gonna get destroyed. So that is one of the best way you can counter the Doomlight's attack. Okay, so that is gonna be it for this mecha. Now the list of the other, let's go to the lobby to actually talk about them. Now in terms of these mechas mods, okay, The mods which I suggest that you give on Andromeda should be the following. Obviously, you should be giving reload rate as much as possible. Okay, that is the first thing that you have to do, because the more reload rate you have, the less time it is gonna take to reload. Even though Andromeda's reload rate time is low, like you want to make it even lower, especially for team deathmatch. Okay, now as for this combat skill, you can use the combat skill, but you can also use fuel recovery. Okay, so if let's say if you were to use fuel recovery, just for example, how much benefit will you get? Let's see, max fuel 2%, and another one should be max fuel and fuel recovery. So if you were to let's say lower the what should I call it, reload rate, let's say by 9%, that is still very good. So you can basically use these mods here to make the fuel recovery as good as possible. Then what will happen is the reload rate is going to be 9%, the fuel recovery is going to be 3.6%, and the max fuel is going to be 4%. In doing so, Andromeda will be staying in the air even for a higher period of time. Okay, so that is my opinion on which type of mods you should be using on Andromeda. Now, in terms of pilot skill, that is going to be a little bit different. So if you want to do dashing a lot, then obviously this is a very good one, but I suggest that you use with fuel, because the thing is Andromeda's dodging is not that much good. But if you think that you can manage the time duration of the combat skill recovery, or let's say tactical skill recovery of Andromeda, then obviously go for this combat control. Now, the next one is going to be Joanna's. Joanna has the ability, Joanna is the main owner of Andromeda. So if you want Joanna's ability, then Joanna's ability will be able to give Andromeda 10% more fuel, okay, which is very good. But let's say you have enough fuel, okay, but you want more durability. Which type of durability will you get that can recover? Obviously shield durability. So if you want to convert 10% shield to 10%, sorry, if you want to convert 10% durability to 10% shield durability, then obviously this gravity amplifier is a very good one. And let's say you want to shoot enemies from a very long distance. If you want to shoot enemies from a very long distance, then this fatal verdict is a very good one. Okay, now if you want higher reload rate, then Hails of Bullet is the very good one. Now for my case, I do not know which one is going to be based on Andromeda. That is going to be up to you. Okay, and last but not least, okay, let's see, after using secondary weapon, primary weapon gains 25% of damage on the normal attack. So you can also use this one. Basically speaking, this chain electroshock will basically make the primary weapon give a total damage output of 25%. That is actually a lot. Like after using secondary weapon for 7 seconds, the attack becomes 25%, and then afterwards it will take 9-second cooldown. That is still actually a lot of damage output. Okay, now you can do the same damage output with this one here, because what will happen is as you use this pilot ability, which is called hovering attack, what will happen is Andromeda will be able to do 10% more damage at 10 meters. So yes, these are the overall pilots which is going to be able to help you do a lot more. Okay, now what about this one? This one will basically give a recovery. Like if you want high recovery ability, then obviously this protect and recovery is going to be the very good one. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. Now I do not suggest that you use all of them, because there is a thing called survival and overall damage output. If you use Mila's ability, for example, Mila's ability will only activate the more damage you are going to take. Obviously by that point your mecha will be getting destroyed. Okay, obviously this is not a very good example, which is why I have not used other mechas to other wants to basically give a proper example, I suggest that you use the one which I explained. Okay, like which one is, for example, Rom's ability good, Joanna's ability good. If you want fast shield recovery, then Vitus ability is good. Ivan's ability is also good. It is not only about damage, it is about how the damage is happening. That is one thing. Another one is, can the mecha do full recovery as fast as possible? Okay, so yeah, if you these are basically the all of the things that will be able to help you in making your Andromeda playstyle a lot more easier. Okay, so anyway, if you like this video regarding on how to use your mecha, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icon so that you will be able to get more of this type of topic on a regular basis. Thank you and see you again next time.